Okay, Mo, you want to kick us off?
So, Coach, how would you describe tonight's outing?
Painful. Yeah, very painful. We knew, there wasn't any in relation to how the game could go. We knew what we had to be good at, and we weren't good enough for long periods, and that's very, very disappointing. We knew, as I said in my pre-match television interview, we knew that it was going to be loose and fast, and if we allow people, any team that allows that to happen is going to struggle defensively. And as the toll continued, you miss more tackles, you lose more control, you overchase, and the vicious circle continues. So yeah, that's the most disappointing thing, because we didn't do what we set out to do.
In terms of the altitude, when did it sort of start to affect the team as sort of the to sort of down?
I think that the short answer is I don't know, because I physically, obviously we knew that we would be aggressive from a bench point of view, so we accepted that might be the issue, and we did things on an individual basis. And Northern Hemisphere wise, we're a fit team, so from that point of view, we took it on an individual basis and what the game take it out. But you get energy from doing things well. You could see the momentum and the energy from when people score tries, it gives you energy. When you make big hits defensively, it gives you energy. And we just didn't control enough of those moments to give us the energy that you need to get through in tough conditions and tough situations. And yeah, it blew out a little bit at the end, and whether that's from a physical point of view, but the disappointment is we didn't control the 60 minutes before it. So from that point of view, I think they stuck together, they hung in there, but we can't be satisfied with a scoreline like that.
Coach, you said the team didn't really do what you set out to do. What exactly was it that you set out to do?
Oh, well, lots of different things, as you can imagine. I think that from our point of view, I think that we can see, from a defensive point of view, we can see too many tries from turnover. We knew the game could be loose. We knew that people were going to offload, so we didn't get control of the environment quick enough. So almost like reactive defence. We talked about that. We didn't do that well enough. We didn't control set piece, which also gives you a foothold into the game. So those two, contributed a lot to to the performance. And then it becomes a bit of an arm wrestle. And we were scrapping, but they won the scraps too. So from that point of view, if you look at those three things, the fundamentals of the game. Early on, we probably didn't control. We were inaccurate at the attacking breakdown to build pressure, and all these things that add together to produce, not being able to apply pressure to the defence well enough for long enough. And as you say, with the physical demands of where we are, those things make the life very, very difficult for you.
How are you guys enjoying your experience in South Africa? I mean, the European teams could have and should have been here a bit early if it was for the Omicron variant. How are you guys finding the South African rugby experience?
Up to 3 hours ago, we were absolutely loving it. But obviously, as you can imagine, we haven't enjoyed the last couple of hours very much. But look, it's ancient history in a way. We've got an influx of players that have come in that will boost morale. We've come with what we've got. We need to lick our wounds and get on with it, and that's what professional sport's all around, how quickly you move on to the next challenge. So they've got some downtime now to recover, and we need to get ready for the Stormers, which will be a very, very similar challenge in relation to what's coming. But in relation to our experience of being here and being a guest in your country, we're absolutely enjoying it. And it's great, especially for a team like ours with so many young players that have never ventured too far from a rugby point of view.
Okay, yeah. All right. Team online, I see Nathan, your hands up.
Yes, thank you. Coach, obviously the game didn't go too well for you guys today. My first question is, next up you have the Stormers, a side which in form and looking to climb the log. It doesn't get any easier for you guys. Which areas would you be looking to improve, as we've seen they are a well-rounded team?
I think the areas that I've just outlined, really, we need to control our environment much better. So that starts at set piece, the fundamentals of the game really, breakdown, defence, set piece. We need to make sure that we're good in those fundamentals which allow you to get a foothold in the game. And you know, they were inconsistent tonight, and a good team, especially with confidence and momentum, will punish you. And you know, the Stormers will be no different there.
And then my last question, I don't know if you heard it during the week, the former Welsh Rugby Union boss at Head also made that comment of you guys ditching the URC for a new Celtic league. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I actually,
Just mute your mic when you're done there, Nathan, please.
I haven't looked into those comments. I've obviously been preparing a team on a short turnaround, but all I can say is that we absolutely love the URC. We love being in it. We enjoy the diversity of the competition and the challenges that they give us. And the more we travel to this part of the world, the better we'll become as more complete rugby players, and that's what it's going to take.
Thank you very much for doing this time in Cape Town.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nathan. Steph, you're up.
Hi, can I just ask one? Is that okay?
Yeah, go.
Hi Toby, how are you?
Steph.
Good. Right, stupid question.
That's all right, Steph. No problem.
Personally, I thought Harry Deeves did pretty well off the bench. Just wanted to get your thoughts on him, and you know, how much did he sort of put his hand up to perhaps get a start next week in Cape Town?
I think sport's great, and often in adversity, well, in life in general, you see true character. And I think Harry Dees epitomises what you've done. Every time he's taken the field, he's done that. But not just him. I think that you learn about people in your group when pressure comes on. So we've learned a lot. You know, we'll get an opportunity to learn about ourselves and the people that were doing it, because if we want to be the team we want to be, we need more consistency. And when pressure comes on, you're in more pressurised environments, whether that be environmental pressure, game pressure, physical pressure. That's what we've decided to do. So yeah, it's very revealing what happens under pressure to people's character. And Harry Deeves, as you say, keeps passing that test, which is great.
Yeah, and any other positive performances you think any other players catch your eye? I know it's tough after a defeat.
Yeah,
like this,
it is.
There were a lot of young players, you know, out there. So.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the bench. I thought Tim came off the bench and had a bit of an impact. I thought Dan Evans was very good, very solid at the back, and you know the big boys in the front. So Rhys Davis and Brad Davis, you know, really put their hand up in what's very difficult for the big lumps up front. So yeah, there were some positive individual aspects, but you know, we can't stray too far by patting ourselves on the back when you concede that amount of points, and despite the respect to the team that we've just played against and how they played, we've got to set ourselves higher standards than that.
And just finally from me, I know you're not one to make excuses, but you know, obviously you've come out here, you know, you aren't your strongest team because of the international situation, and you're coming up against full strength South African teams that. The Scarlets and Cardiff face the same challenge. Surely you'd agree that's something that's got to be looked at by the organisers of the competition, so that you know you're able to take your best teams out to South Africa in the upcoming seasons.
It'd certainly be helpful for sure. However, I don't think the South African boys brought their strongest teams up to the Northern Hemisphere either. So from that point of view, you know, it works itself out. But yeah, of course, this competition's integrity will be improved by having the availability of your best players for as long as possible, without doubt.
Brilliant. Thanks, Toby, and good luck for next week.
Thank you.